Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Did the same thing at the Coral concert a few nights ago. So yes, it is definitely the end of the school year. Welcome to our 2017 Challengers Assembly. We appreciate you coming out this afternoon and making time for this important assembly. And students, you look great. This is, a lot of hard work on your part to get to this point. So we are very, very proud of you. For those of you that are not too familiar with our Challengers group, just to give you a bit of a history lesson about this, it was over 20 years ago that Drexel Middle School started to recognize a group of approximately 50 8th grade students as our challengers. This was kind of our answer to the Junior National Honor Society. And those of you familiar with the Junior National Honor Society, typically that is an organization or something that you can become a part of based primarily off of just your academic achievement. And while academic achievement is certainly very important, and all of you are here this morning due in large part to your academic achievement and how successful you have been here at Drexel Middle School, the administration at the time of Drexel Middle School decided that it's more than just that. They were looking to have a group of students represent really a well-rounded student. Not only a student who is very capable academically, but also a student who gives maximum effort, is a person of character, and just overall a good citizen of the school community. Focuses again on just being responsible, safe, and respectful. This morning, or this afternoon rather, this is the first time we're doing this in the afternoon in a while, we do have a guest speaker. The last few years we've been fortunate enough to host wonderful guest speakers like Mayor Micosi and State Representative Santora. This year we're proud to announce that we have a future President of the United States joining us. Now I joke when I say that, of course, and this is something that, I don't know if Howard remembers this, but I have joked with him about back when he was a student here and I was the lead teacher, just a standout amongst his peers, and we're doing something a bit different this year in that we have a former student of Drexel Middle School coming back to speak to you, but also not only that, but he was in the 2008-9 school year, he was sitting right where you are now. He was a challenger. The last few days, parents and family members, these students have been listening to me, a lot of listening to me, talk to them about what it means to be a challenger and congratulating them, and telling them how wonderful they are. And also, they've listened to me talk to our 5th grade students that are coming to us from our feeder schools. And we've had them coming through the last few days, and again next week. We have 2 more tours. And they've been helping us with that. And they've been helping us with that not just by touring around the building, but really being ambassadors of the school. Answering questions that they have, and helping to really ease that transition from 5th to 6th grade. You are all about to make another transition in your lives. You're transitioning from 8th to 9th grade. Howard did so very successfully to the high school, where he was in the top 3% of his graduating class, graduating from Upper Darby High School with honors. And also, yet another transition that he's just making. He has commencement coming up shortly. He'll be graduating from George Washington University with a major in international affairs and minors in both Mandarin and music. So Howard has been busy since leaving Drexel Middle School. Let's give him a big round of applause for his accomplishments. And I think it's important to have him speak to you guys this morning, or this afternoon again, rather, because, again, you are transitioning yourselves. And while you've been helping us with the 5th to 6th grade transition, my hope, and I know that he will deliver it, is that Howard's going to give you some words of wisdom in terms of, the next step in your educational journey. All that being said, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Howard Goodison. Howard?
Good afternoon, everybody. Is the rain making you guys tired? Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Salerno for extending this opportunity for me to speak for you today. And even in their absence, all of the teachers that I've had at Drexel Hill Middle School for their commitment to education amidst so much of what they have to manage in the classrooms and the moving parts on a national, state, and local level. My last name is Goodison. I know that sounds familiar because my sister, Camille, is actually a challenger today, and I want to just briefly recognize her and tell her how much I love her and appreciate her. And congratulations to all of the students who made it this far to challengers. And as a member of challengers from the class of 2008-2009, welcome to the club, guys. So give it up. Give you guys a round of applause. So this, being a challenger is not something that you guys should take lightly. Being a challenger has a lot to do with, as Mr. Salerno stated, your commitment to academics, your extracurricular work both inside and outside of the classroom, and maintaining pillars of character in the process. And with so many things going on today with social media and different things, with friend groups and other activities, you guys didn't really have to commit to this. You guys could have just been chilling. You guys didn't really need to do this, but you decided to go above and beyond. And you wanted to do it because you wanted to be better. And that's what really makes you a challenger, right? But the thing that I want to emphasize to you guys today is that it doesn't stop here. I think that's really important to know that, you know, as hard as you guys have worked and as much time and effort that you've put in, being a challenger isn't just about who you are and what you've done up to this point, but who you want to be. And I was just thinking of 3 things that you guys could keep in the back of your mind, or the front of your mind, as you continue to excel and transition into the high school and make some very big decisions about where you want to go in life. So there are just 3 things. I'm going to keep it very short and simple. The first thing is being informed. Second is being involved. Third is being inspired. I'll start first with being informed. Investing in your education isn't just about getting good grades, to get into good quality classes in high school, to go to a good college and get a good job. Those things are all important, but it's also about being an informed person so you can grow and help others in the process. I don't know how politically active you guys are. As Mr. Salerno mentioned, I go to George Washington University, which is in the heart of Washington, D.C. So my background is very politically oriented. It's hard for me sometimes to watch the news, if you guys do watch the news, because it always seems like people are arguing and no one's really listening to each other. And you know, I think the difference between having an argument and a discussion is a person who is willing to listen and learn versus a person who just wants to get their point across. With social media today, everybody has an opinion on Twitter, Instagram, everybody is saying something. But what you guys have as students is a unique opportunity to learn and be informed and use what you know to educate others, but also learn things along the way. So don't take what you have, your technological items, for granted. Don't take your cell phone just to take selfies and pictures and Snapchats, which is fun to do, but also try to use technology to help yourselves along the way, because technology is not going anywhere, and it's definitely going to become a more integral part of our lives along the way. Second is giving back, is being, I say, involved, which involves community service. Part of the reason why you guys are here today is because of your involvement with your community. And with your community is responsible for teaching and helping develop your character to make sure that they can pass down the values that they think are important to you guys, and so you can continue to develop your personal character traits and then use those skills and experiences to pass it on to the next generation. And the last thing I just want to mention too is being inspired. As you guys again are transitioning to high school, know that there is more to life than just middle school or high school. There's a world outside of even Upper Darby, outside of Pennsylvania. And I just wanted to briefly share some of my experiences. I have had the opportunity while in school to intern for various levels of government. I started working in local DC politics. Then I had the opportunity to intern for this Chief of Staff to the United States Secretary of Commerce with respect to organizing information communicating trade deals. I've also had the opportunity to work for my university's provost, who's kind of like a lead teacher responsible for international strategy and engaging people from all around the world and being educated. And most recently, I had the opportunity to work for the United States trade representative, who was President Obama's chief advisor on trade. So I'm just sharing these experiences with you guys to let you guys know that there's more to life than just what you were used to seeing, right? And I was sitting right where you guys were 8 years ago, and I never would have thought I would have those experiences. So if you guys just stay committed to those three things that I've mentioned, being informed, being involved, and being inspired, always looking towards something greater than yourself and doing what you can to get there, you guys will be successful. And not just successful for your own lives, but as a society, people like you committed to principles like that will certainly have a huge impact on the direction that we go in the world. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity to speak, and congratulations, guys. You have so much to be excited about.
So as a part of our ceremony this afternoon, we do have medals and certificates from State Representative Santour's office to present to all of our Challenger students. And I would like to take this opportunity to once again thank Howard for joining us this afternoon and present him with our first medal as an honorary 2017 Drexel Middle School Challenger. Congratulations. I'm sure it's one of the proudest moments of the last 8 years that we've just so at this time, and parents and family members, we encourage you, if you'd like, as we are about to call the students up to accept their medals and their certificates, if you want to come up for a quick photo op, feel free to do so, but we promise we can most certainly reenact this at the conclusion of the ceremony if you'd like, if you don't get the picture that you would want. At this time, I'm going to introduce two very important people to help me both call the names and present the certificates and the medals. People that have been with this class, one for 3 years as their school counselor, and one for 2 years, the last 2 years, as their assistant principal administrator for this class, Mr. Cramp and Mr. McKetty. Come on up, guys. Mr. McKetty.
Good afternoon. Parents, I'd like to get started by thanking you all for what you do. It's not an accident that your children are over here. This is probably my 5th group that I've had in 8th grade, and this group is impressive as any group that I've had. It's kind of a sad time for me because I get to spend 3 years with these young folks. Some of them I know real well, other ones I kind of like to get to know a little better. But there's not a day that goes by that I don't learn something new speaking right now. And real quick, I know Mr. Solano mentioned Mr. Cramp. Mr. Cramp's been the assistant principal for 2 years. And where I consider myself fortunate, because of the job Mr. Cramp does, it allows me to do my job. Mr. Cramp knows all the students as well as I do, and some of them he knows even better. But without his help, we work together pretty well. So anyway, at this stage, what I'd like to do is I'm going to call the students up one at a time. And what I would ask the audience to do is if you could hold your applause if I call all the names. Okay? So, okay, let's begin. Sarah Abbott, please come up. I like to drag it out so everybody gets a chance on stage. Aditi Avalash. Adakor Alate. Anastasia Balabaya. Michaela Cherry. Tina Chabane. Ava Cooley. Cordelia Coppola. Larissa Coglin. Eleni Dimitriadis. Morgan Dempsey. Jack DePermio. Kylie Donahue. Raina Farmer. Lucy Piquet. Dylan Ford. Nicholas Giadetti. Camille Goodison. Cassidy Gorman. Rachel Halgan. John Hoey. Kira Hunt. Taylor Clock. Ria Kumar. Anastasia Master. Daniel McBride. Aoife Macondo. Lexi McCullough. Leah McMullen. Brianna Miller. Allison Millette. Leah Mullen. Davina Nyanpan. Kara Oaks. Max Peters. David Rodriguez. Tyler Santora. Emma Scouten. James Sloan. Amy Smith. Margaret Smith. Brooke Souders. Lauren Stokes. Courtney Sweetie. We'd like to recognize Ava Terone, who cannot be here today. Mary Thompson. Amanda Thompson. Catherine Tran. Terrell Sakata. And Ashley Iris. Real quick before we formally recognize them, I want to again let them know they're an awesome group. And when you guys leave, our lives will never be the same. So keep that in mind. Again, so let's give them a round.
Thank you for being such a great audience. I know it's hard to hold your applause that long, so we appreciate that. So Mr. McKinney just mentioned it, but this group truly is a special group. And I know, that in all honesty, students, I do say that every year. Okay, but this group of 50 students is special not only because they are such a fantastic group of well-rounded young women and men, but also because they started here at Drexel Middle School as 6th graders 3 years ago at the beginning of my tenure as building principal. So we have that in common, and we always will, that you started here as I started here as building principal. And being the first cohort of Challenger students that I've had the opportunity to watch grow socially, academically, emotionally, and physically. Remember how small you were when you came as 5th graders? I will tell you that I personally do feel like a very proud parent today. And speaking of parents, it is, again, extremely important to recognize the support of your parents, your guardians, your family, and your friends that have provided so much support for you the last 3 years. In addition to that, I did mention Mr. Cramp, your school counselor, Mr. McKinney. It's these people, along with all of your teachers, not just here at Drexel Middle School, but all the teachers that you have had up to this point in your educational journey, that have helped mold you into the fine young men and women that you are today. Please, everyone, join me in giving all of these people a round of applause. I would like to once again congratulate all of you for all of your hard work the last 3 years at Drexel Middle School. We are definitely going to be, all of us, but definitely Mr. McKinney and Mr. Cramp and I are going to be looking very closely at the next few years of your journey, and we know that you are going to make us very proud. Parents and guardians, we do want to remind you that if you have not already had the opportunity to do so, you can please feel free to sign the child out using one of the sign-out sheets on the tables out here in the main lobby. Tonight is our Challenger Panera fundraiser, Panera Bread fundraiser number 2. over at the Quarry Shopping Center from 4 to 8 o'clock. So if you're looking for a celebratory place for dinner, I strongly encourage Panera Bread. Our car wash that was originally scheduled for this Saturday, it looks like it's going to be a complete washout. So, Ms. Rosen, we have rescheduled our car wash as a fundraiser for Sunday, let me just double check here, Sunday the 21st. So we do ask that if you guys are interested in helping to support us in our fundraising efforts to offset the cost of our Challenger trip. Again, thank you very much for your support and for coming this afternoon to recognize a fantastic group of young men and women. Congratulations, everyone.